Hello there. It's so nice having you share your pleasant evening with us on today's edition of LAMATA FR. I am Obafemi Craig, thanking you so much for joining us. Well, with me in the studio is my co-presenter and the only lady in the house. And I mean the only lady in the house, Kate Harmony. Hello.
Thanks, Craig. How are you today?
I'm good, highly good.
I'm very well. And welcome viewers to yet another exciting moment with us on your favorite show, LAMATA Half Hour. Craig, I'm particularly excited today. Yeah.
I can guess.
Yeah, because my birthday comes up in a few weeks. Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Thank you
Don't
so
worry,
much.
they will have more to take
Of course,
next week.
All
right.
I'm so excited. I have this thing for birthday, so
That's
I
right.
can't wait. Yeah.
I can't wait either.
Of course, I'll give you something, yeah. And all in the spirit of excitement, we'll bring you the concluding part of the very informative and educative chat with the Managing Director of LAMATA, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola. That will be coming your way shortly.
Today we also have for you on today's edition of the program a MENA feature highlighting the numerous projects of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, in the past 10 years. But before all of this, we'll just take a break to come back to bring you the news on LAMATA FR. Thank you again for staying with us.
Basically, what LAMATA does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
LAMATA, think transport.
Welcome back. The news on LAMATA FR. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola SAN has disclosed that government is considering implementing the section of the Blue Line Rail project from the National Theatre to Marina. He said the section, a 5-kilometer distance, would bring the total distance constructed to about 13 kilometers out of the 27-kilometer railroad. Speaking during a visit to the rail project last week, Governor Fashola said the state holds the enviable record as the only city in the world implementing 5 transport enhancement projects. Governor Fashola listed the projects as expansion of the Lagos-Badagry Expressway to a 10-lane expressway, extension of BRT from Mile 12 to Ikorodu, construction of Lekki-Epe Expressway, construction of ferry terminal, and the light rail project.
See thousands of Nigerians working on those sites. So for us, it's a transport solution, but it's also an economic solution, it's a job creation solution. So many things are involved there.
The Lagos State government has launched the electronic payment solution tagged Lagos Connect and the Bus Rapid Transit BRT system and the Bus Franchise Scheme BFS. The e-ticketing system is a distance-based solution introduced to replace the paper ticketing system, which zones the BRT corridor into 2 and travels within a zone, cost between 70 naira and across zones of 120 naira. However, with the launch of the e-ticketing system by the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Adejoke Orelope Adefulire, which was witnessed by funding bank's executives, including the Group Managing Director of Skybank, Mr. Kendi Duro Simieti, and Deputy Managing Director of EcoBank, Mr. Tony Opanachi. Passengers are bound to make a lot of saving on transportation along the corridors where e-ticketing operates. Mrs. Orelope Adefulire described the e-ticketing system as a progressive solution, which is another poverty reduction program of the state government aimed at reducing the cost of transportation. She disclosed that the state government has, in conjunction with the operators of the BRT and BFS adopted a revamped program for their buses apart from plans to increase their fleet. The contract for the reconstruction of Wemco Road to a dual carriageway has been formally awarded following a kick-off meeting to signal the commencement of the road rehabilitation. At a meeting presided over by the Director of Roads Maintenance and Traffic Management, LAMATA, Engineer Funsho Ilulade, the contractor and consultants placed to build the road to international standard according to the terms of the contract. He said the road will be dualized as well as fitted with bicycle lanes, thus making it a pilot in Lagos State. Engineer Lulade gave a detailed description of works to be carried out on the road.
The scope of work involves scarifying the existing road surface and building from there is no more base cost, but building from sub-base, binder to surfacing cost. But most importantly, the reason why this road is a pilot scheme is the introduction of the cycle. The Lagos State government wants to use this road as a pilot scheme, and whatever we do on that road will be replicated all over Lagos. So we really need to get everything into precision.
Head of Procurement, Engineer Abiodun Dabiri, also listed some of the clauses that the contractor and consultant should be conversant with. Others who spoke at the meeting include the Corporate Legal Secretary, Mrs. Abiola Oseni, Deputy Director, Transport Safety, Engineer Olajide Oduyoyi, and Technical Advisor Communication, Mrs. Angela Olanrewaju. They spoke differently on contract administration, dispute resolution, traffic safety, and management and external relations issues, respectively. That's the news. Well, Kate is right here. Kate,
yeah,
I'm sure we're done with the news, so you still have
of course, yeah.
So a lot to expect from LAMATA this time, changing
yeah.
the face of transportation.
Of course.
All right.
Okay, now you can call this a promise kept. It's time for you to enjoy the final scoop of the concluding part of the chat with the MD of LAMATA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola. Enjoy.
So still on the socio-economic aspect of what LAMATA has actually done, we know that from reports we've seen, it has created a platform for people to actually meet, interact, and result into a successful marriage over time. And we also know that it has done a lot in terms of providing employment opportunities to so many people. I don't know whether you agree with all of this, sir.
Absolutely. Let's even start from the point of construction. When we're constructing the BRT in itself, over 2,000 people were actually employed. Now that we are running the BRT services, directly and indirectly, we have almost 15,000 people employed for the BRT. And then the same thing on the rail system. We have quite thousands of people, almost about 4,000 to 5,000 being recruited that are working on the construction of the Lagos State Blue Line from Okukomaiko to CMS, and that's just the minimal. And that is not to say that when it becomes operational, we are going to have train operators, you are going to have maintenance engineers, you are going to have ticketers, you are going to have people at the station, customer service. All of that will generate a multiplier effect in terms of employment generation. And beyond that, you also have indirect employment as people that are actually feeding and helping these people in terms of supplying food, supplying clothing, all of that.
There must have been some rough times at some point and issues you have to deal with. Can you just tell us essentially what have been the challenges?
Well, yes, there is no project, no program that doesn't have its own challenges. No doubt we have faced ours. I just have to say categorically that in a state like Lagos, what is major is actually the fact that we are moving forward. And therefore, it's easier for us to deal with these issues of challenges. The first problem that we had was communicating and telling people exactly what it is that we wanted to do, because nothing like this has ever been done in Lagos.
Before this time.
Before this time. Take, for example, the BRT. When we were actually constructing the BRT, it became a problem for most Lagosians, especially the car owners, who then were saying that the roads were not enough, and then we wanted to take one and dedicate it for buses.
His particular route.
Yeah. So, but so it was that issue of getting them to see the end result that was the major challenge. Eventually, they were able to see the benefit of that when we created the BRT, because what has happened with the BRT on that Ikorodu Road was that we were able to move the downfalls and motorways to the service lane, and we freed the main carriageway. Again, one cannot but mention the fact that we have been able to incorporate the NURTW, that is the union that were operating downfalls and motorways in Lagos before the existence of BRT, to come and understand how to run better means of public transportation. And by so doing, they are actually the bus owners, the BRT bus owners. Most people would think the BRT, the blue buses, is actually owned by Lagos State, but no, it's not. It's owned by these
the cooperative society.
The cooperative society.
The National Union of Road Transport Workers, we're told.
Yes. But we just regulate them, tell them what we want them to do, how we want them to do it. Again, that has its own challenges as well. We can't run away from it. But with those challenges is something that we have been dealing with, and we've been sorting it out. It's a learning curve. Anything new in this world
a learning curve.
Is a learning curve, but we're improving on a day-to-day, and that is once again, I really want to state categorically that the state government have been kind and have been supportive to all our various plans in Lagos State, and giving us the resources that are required. Albeit, if you ask me, I'll probably say yes, probably not enough, because I may want to build 7 rail line at the same time. But the Lagos State has actually, in the last 6 years, put so much funding into public transportation infrastructure than it has ever been in the history of Lagos State.
And to actually finance a project like this definitely will be challenging. And we equally know that there is also the support and the role of international donors in this concern. What can you tell us, or can you really shed more light on the support and role of these international agencies?
On the back of Lagos State championing the need for transport infrastructure and services in Lagos State, and by putting their money up front, we have had the support of the World Bank and French Development Agency as well. And all of that because they have seen that Lagos State is actually committed.
How do you really get the quality of the human resource you work with?
Let me start again by going back to the history, because you cannot rule that out. Like I said, before the establishment of LAMATA, there had not been an agency of government that actually, or any parastatals or any institution in Nigeria that could produce a good, knowledgeable, with practical experience of implementing good public transportation system in Nigeria. So we needed to look abroad. We have been lucky in the sense that we have been able to recruit very good and professional, efficient Nigerians abroad to come and work with us in LAMATA, and that has also had to the successes that we have achieved so far.
Well, the beginning is good, but the future is equally important, sir, if you ask me. So that brings me to my question as to what plans does LAMATA have for Lagos?
What is most important is the sustainability of what we have done so far and expanding it so that everybody in Lagos State would have a feel and would benefit from it. The objective of Lagos State and LAMATA is to place one mode of transport within 500 meters of every citizen, every household in Lagos State. And for that reason, we have come up with a master plan that would put public transport within these areas. And we have come up with, take for example, on the rail, we have come up with 7 rail lines for Lagos State. And we've started on the first one, which is the Blue Line, which is 27 kilometers from Okokomaiko, going through Mile 2 to National Theatre to CMS. So we have started with that. We have also have a plan to start on the Red Line, which is going to run within the heart of Lagos State, from Agbado, Al-Agege, Oshodi, Mushin, Yaba, all of that area to Lagos Island as well. And then we have another line planned for Green Line, planned from CMS to Lekki axis. So all of that, we have 7 of the rail line that we have planned. And then we also have planned to also come up with a better bus system for Lagos State.
Different from what we're seeing now?
Different from the Danfos and the Molwe. So you have regulated buses, efficient buses that will be running every corners of Lagos State. And we are also trying to make use of the water transportation as well. So we have a transport master plan for water transportation. So at the end of the day, it might mean that if you are going from one place to the other, you can take water transportation from one end, change to rail, and change to a bus, or any other way you want to combine it. It will be at your own pleasure. But the most important thing is also the fact that we are not just putting all these infrastructures there. There is going to be connectivities that people can be able to seamlessly move from one mode of transport to the other without even feeling it. And then we are then coming up with what we call a commonality, which is an electronic ticketing system, which means you can use one ticket to travel on the rail and use the same ticket to travel on buses and also on the ferries, all of that. Again, the new approach we're also trying to encourage is to create the enabling environment for people to even walk some short distances, like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, and that would also help your health. So we are, Lagos State has also bought into that. We are creating walkways, and even to the point that the new idea is to come up with cycleways as well, so that people can even cycle and enjoy their rides. And all of these are the innovative things that are coming to Lagos State.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we want to thank you, sir.
Not to mention that there's also the cable car as well.
Oh, coming on board as well.
Coming on board as well. Yeah.
Right, sir, we want to thank you so much. But before you go, your message to Lagosians as you clock and celebrate 10 years in existence.
I would say that we want to thank the citizens of Lagos State on behalf of the Lagos State government for bearing with us for the past 10 years. And I'm sure they have enjoy the benefits of what we have introduced, and also to tell them that the future is brighter for the future generation, to make Lagos a city that will continually be a lovely place to live in, a city where you can come and do your business, a city where you can come and just live and have fun and just be yourself. But in the process of doing it, there would be some discomfort that we have to all endure. There would be some construction that will take place, and when this construction is happening, citizens should just bear in mind that the benefits actually overrides the discomfort they are going through at the present time.
Well, that's it out there with that man behind it all, the Managing Director and the Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, Dr. Ekundayo Anthony Mobriola, having a time out with us as we celebrate 10 years in the journey of transportation in Lagos State. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back. That there was the concluding part of the chat we had with the Managing Director, the CEO of LAMATA, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, well, giving us an insight analysis of the journey that's far in the past 10 years. Well, why not just stay back as we bring you LAMATA's a mini feature on LAMATA's intervention efforts in Lagos State. That's another package you'll love to see. The establishment of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, by the Lagos State Government by an enabling law in 2002 and amended in 2007 with the institutional framework for coordinating sector-wide management and addressing the major transport issues affecting Lagos, opened the vista for the planning and development of a world-class transport system for the city of Lagos. The establishment of LAMATA followed observed pressure on public transport infrastructure and services in Lagos, which had been stretched to almost breaking point by a population growing rapidly at a significantly higher annual rate of 6% than the national average of 3.5%. This state of congestion, coupled with inherent management weaknesses, meant successive administrations before this millennium struggled to cope with problems of increasing road congestion, environmental deterioration, and general decline in public transport service delivery. However, in 2000, the Lagos State Government responded to the growing transport problems in the metropolis by defining its sector policy with the overall objective of improving the provision of transport services, particularly for low-income public transport users, and a strategy which revolves around developing appropriate institutional mechanisms for managing the public transport sector, and this led to the establishment of LAMATA, saddled with the responsibility of implementing the Lagos Urban Transport Project LUTP, substantially funded by the World Bank with counterpart funding from the Lagos State Government. In the last 10 years, LAMATA has successfully implemented a number of projects which had greatly facilitated the movement of passengers and in some cases goods. Under the LUTP-1, LAMATA successfully rehabilitated 27.5 km of roads, overlaid 41.9 lane kilometer of roads, and improved 57 junctions. Among roads rehabilitated were Oba Sekumade Road, Ikpakodo, Ikorodu, Command Road, Ikpaja, Fatai Atere Way, Mushin, Ayoalabi Street, Ogba, Bishop Oluwole Street, Sakatinumbu Street, Idejo Street, among others in Victoria Island. Within the last 10 years, LAMATA planned and implemented the first successful bus rapid transit BRT system in sub-Sahara Africa, a 22-kilometer roadway bus system running from Mile 12 to CMS. Operation of the BRT system commenced in March 2008. To facilitate the operation of the BRT system, LAMATA championed the enactment and enforcement of a BRT regulation to ensure the effectiveness of the system and its operation. It also planned and built infrastructure for the Igodo Ikotun Iyano Ipaja Maryland Bus Franchise Scheme, BFS, which commenced operation in August 2009. LAMATA also ensured that 4 jetties were fully rehabilitated at Agboiketu, Ijegunegba, Iyeafin, and Ekpeme to promote water transportation, especially in the rural areas. Among other things, LAMATA was instrumental to the increase in user charges such as road license fee, ACNI permit for cost recovery drive in public transportation, supported the enactment of the law on motor vehicle administration with 50% of accruing revenue placed in a dedicated transport fund. Suffice it to say, LAMATA continues in its quest to build a world-class transport system for Lagos. Even as LAMATA looks back at 10 and reflects on the future with its strategic transport master plan, which details the transport infrastructure requirement for Lagos for the next 20 years, there is then a definite plan to keep Lagos growing and moving through an effective and efficient transport system. LAMATA, think transport. Well, that's it on our package for today. Thanking you for staying with us. For more suggestions, or if you have any suggestions or more information on LAMATA projects, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/LAMATANG. And don't forget to please like us. And also on our Facebook page, you will find some interesting quiz. If you get the answers right, there is a great reward for you coming your way. Please don't miss it. Well, LAMATA,
Think transport.
together.
Yeah.